Hey Spirit Junkies, welcome back. The topic today is, would you rather be right or happy? I ask people this question all the time in my lectures when people get up and they're just complaining about the person that they're so resentful for and that they've been carrying that resentment for 20 years, or that they're so mad at themselves because they've been holding on to this idea that they should be something that they're not. And I hear these people just holding on and holding on and holding on to this desire and this need to be right. And the need to be right can be one of the greatest blocks to your happiness and your flow and your happy experience in life with other people and your relationships. So the practice of choosing to be happy over being right is a 3-step process, and it's quite simple. The first step is usually when we're choosing that need to be right, it's because we think for some reason we've been wronged, or we think that we need to prove to the world that we've done this thing so perfectly and everybody else around us is wrong. But in that situation, we have a part. We always have a part. We always have our part, which could be as simple as we're holding on to the need to be happy, or we're holding on to the need to be right. That could be our part. That could be it. That's the simplicity. And so really looking at your part in the situation. How have you been carrying on with this idea that you need to be a certain way? How have you been carrying a resentment? What is your part in this situation? And why do you need to prove that you are right? So seeing your side of the street and taking ownership of your side of the street is one of the first steps in really getting back to the place of peace. Once you start to take that ownership, you can see, okay, there's a few parties involved. It's not just me as the victim. The next step is to choose to be happy, is to say, okay, well, I'm willing to let this go. I'm willing to be happy. Choosing that happiness is really the biggest step in this process, because is the moment that you choose, again, the moment that you choose to see the experience through the lens of happiness is the moment that you choose the right mind and you release the ego's wrong-minded approach. And so leaning into that right mind, you start to create infinite possibilities for healing. And you open up your subconscious to receive inspired guidance and intuitive ideas that can help you release that need to be right and embrace that desire to be happy. And then the final step in the process of choosing to be happy over being right is to just start practicing the religious practice of forgiveness. Be religious about this. Get into the practice of daily commitment, daily desire, daily devotion to forgiving yourself, forgiving others. And forgiveness is the pathway out of that need to be right and back to the place of happiness and peace. And a lot of times people get hung up about, well, how do I practice forgiveness? The simplicity is to want to forgive the resentment that you're carrying, to want to forgive yourself for holding on, to want to forgive the experience that you've been replaying for the past decade. That desire to forgive is all that you need to clear the path to set the experience in motion. And so it's really just a shifting in from the desire to really, really want to be released, be free, be happy. So shifting out of that fear of needing to be right and into the freedom of happiness. And these tools will help you make that shift. And sometimes it takes time, but that's okay. It's part of the process. So be open and be willing to just be on the path and take these steps and stay consistent with these steps so that you can choose happiness and let go of the need to be right. I hope this serves you. Satnam.